Alright, and welcome back. This is going to be Control coming up, done by Bucky. How you doing today?
I'm doing okay. Hello everyone, my name is Bucky. I'm current world record holder. Joined with me on commentary is Tansu, the resident route lord who's been here from the beginning, right?
Yep.
And also joining us is my sister Daryl.
Hello.
And have you played the game recently?
No, not at all. I played it about 2 weeks ago and got to
floppy disk?
the part where you gotta find Marshall.
Oh, that part. Okay. Well, that's fine. But anyway, so this is Control. It is a third-person shooter created by Remedy Entertainment. They are also known for games such as Alan Wake and Quantum Break, as well as Max Payne. And the run's going to start out a little slow, but it's gonna get interesting pretty quick. So just double checking what language won the incentive.
German.
The bid war? German? Okay. Also, we have a donation incentive for the DLC at the very end of the run. It is called The Foundation. I kind of half-routed it, but recently was running that like this last week, and it's really cool. I'd love to show it off. But anyway, so we're going to get right into it here, off of the new game. Timing is going to start after I skip the second cutscene, which is going to be in 3, 2, 1.
Hallo?
Hello!
Ist da jemand?
German is the funniest friggin' language, I swear. But anyway, so this is Control. If you want to talk about the story and premise.
So you start out and play as Jessie Payton, who had an encounter with a paranormal object when she was a child. The encounter ended in all of the adults in her town mysteriously disappearing. So she's been an orphan for the last, 19 years? 17 years?
17
like that.
17 years, looking for the foundation that took her brother after the incident.
Yeah, so she's been led here by an entity in her head known as Polaris. You'll actually see that in game as the little blue circles. But
yeah, and
so,
we are coming up on the service weapon, which is an object of power. They do different things. They have powers. This one in particular, the person who touches it and is like, how do I say it? Is like allowed to be, gets to be the director of the oldest house.
Easiest job interview ever. Totally.
Yeah. And the interesting part about the service weapon is that it technically has like infinite ammo, where you can run out, but it will recharge in a few seconds. But like the main way to do combat is to like make sure you don't run out as much as possible, so that you can like keep shooting as much as possible. And melee is also fairly strong utility, at least in like these basic fights.
It's a 5-second punishment if you run out of ammo, right?
Yeah. Also, another integral part of the combat is spawn manipulation, which is done by looking at certain directions to spawn the enemies in the preferred places.
Essentially, you turn so you're facing where you want the enemies to go. So I'm going to run in here backwards so they all spawn by the door here.
Yeah.
So she just discovered the Hiss, which is an enemy trans-dimensional entity that has come in and possessed the employees of the Bureau. And it just tried to possess her as well.
I just got a fancy mod.
Nice.
I'm running on a new game. It's a consecutive kill bonus. This game does have random drops, but we just got a very good one. So after every kill I get, there's a 5-second timer where I do extra damage with this mod on my gun. But anyway.
Yeah, mods in general, there's personal mods and then weapon mods. Basically, they are some type of enhancement to either Jessie's abilities or the weapon. So, like we got the consecutive kills post, which does give you extra damage after kills. And then there's stuff like damage boost and headshot boost, which are ideal, we want those. And for personal mods, there's stuff like energy recovery speed and dash efficiency and launch efficiency, which make those abilities cost less energy, which is also
They
what
give
we
you a
want.
lot more breathing room.
Yeah.
Well, if I have a few seconds.
Yes.
So we have a $5 donation from Thar that says apologies to Bucky for forgetting to add the incentive. Whoops.
It is all good, bro. You were totally fine. I can't
And
imagine
that is
the
going-
stress that goes into organizing a marathon. So y'all are doing great.
And this is going towards that DLC incentive. So we only need $25 more to make that DLC happen, chat. Let's make it happen. Let's start a $5 donation train towards the incentives that we have coming up. Pick any incentive you have coming up here for Bid Wars, anything you want. But let's start a $5 donation train.
What do we never been seen at a marathon, by the way?
Oh yeah, true.
Have you done an official run for it yet?
I have, yeah. That's what I did last week, I guess. Whenever I've had the time. But anyways, where are we?
Oh, well, I should probably explain prop clipping. So there's the tech which is prop clipping, which is used quite a bit in the run.
We're coming up on it pretty quickly.
Yeah, essentially we use the launch ability to pick up objects, which causes them to lose collision. And then we place it between us and the roof, and we jump into the object. And then we release the object, which causes the collision to return. But since we are inside the object, the game tries to push us outside of it, which causes us to clip out of bounds or through the roof.
Yeah, something interesting about this game is whenever you're stuck in some certain walls, the game just pushes you upwards for whatever reason. And we believe that's the same with props.
Yes, probably.
But anyway, we're going to be doing that with the ability we just got, which is Launch. It's a telekinetic attack ability we got from floppy disk.
Soviet launch codes?
Yeah, Soviet launch codes. Right, that makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, can't argue with that logic.
This game takes a lot of inspiration from the SCP universe. In fact, the Federal Bureau of Control is almost not quite, almost a one-for-one with the SCP. You end up with a lot of interesting, not so much monsters or cryptids, but items that, if you are the director, you can sort of absorb their powers.
Yeah, and here is Nomasi. Essentially we use the prop clipping to clip the roof here. And we can this way skip the Tomasi fight, because there's a failsafe where you don't have to actually do the fight, you can just go through the doors.
It's a nice cheat trigger.
Their excuse was they needed to be able to test everything. And fortunately, almost everything in the game is destructible, so we can just punch holes through walls like that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got a really cool, completely destroyable environment. You can rip stuff off the walls and throw all the props.
Very well done. But here is the Ocean View Motel, which is like kind of like a security measure, or I'm not sure how to explain it, but traversing the motel is requires a certain clearance level, and they use that to block off, very important things in Bureau, such as the hotline here. The hotline is going to allow us to contact extra-dimensional entities, such as the previous director and whoever else, lets us talk to dead people.
That's
very
nice.
weird. Yeah, very, very nice.
Useful.
Useful indeed. These guys are called astral spikes. As you can see, they go pretty hard. And this is the funniest trick jump in the game, spike jump. And that's done using a coyote jump, which I'm sure other games have this, but it's sort of like a jump extension, so you can jump for a time after running off of a ledge. But after we pick up the hotline here, we're going to skip the cutscene and do a quit to menu. And a quit to menu basically just returns us to the last checkpoint. I actually did one earlier, just force of habit. But yeah, this is actually just faster to go back to Central Executive from fast traveling.
Was it an unskippable cutscene?
No, it skips having to run all the way back through the director's office to the other side of this room. So it saves a good bit of time. I'm also going to do another one after talking to Emily here, which I wouldn't normally do, but I have to set up for a trick, actually. And Chonsu, if you want to explain the trick.
So first we're gonna put our settings super high so the game runs slower, which makes the trick easier. But basically you overlap two menus, in this case the elevator menu and the loadout menu. And then you go into the multimedia files, you play one of them, and then you exit the multimedia file while also entering into the other sector on the elevator. And if it works, that causes...
I didn't get it.
No.
I'm gonna go back and try it again.
Okay.
Because it's a cool trick.
Yeah, it is very cool.
I'm actually gonna come back here and I'm gonna restart the whole game.
Yeah, good idea.
There's a rage quit scenario.
Tactical Alt F4.
Yeah, that's what I call it too.
A tactical Alt F4 so you don't lose.
So I don't lose my sanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, this trick is very
Remember to share the
interesting.
screen again.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Oh, my game crashed.
Oh no.
I'm not sure why that's happening.
Isn't the tactical Alt F4 supposed to avoid that?
It usually does. Okay, hopefully this should be fine.
She is a fickle mistress.
If we don't really understand why this trick is the way that it is, it tends to be pretty marathon shy.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time getting this menu. There we go.
Moment of truth.
Hopefully.
See. I didn't get it. I'm just gonna run as normal. That's unfortunate.
So what would ideally happen is that Jesse's character model would go away and we would just be the gun sliding on the floor, which is where the trick's name Slidey McGunny comes from. And what that allows us to do is camera clipping, which makes it so we can clip the camera through walls and therefore we can open some doors from behind.
Yeah, but it's fine. We actually have backup strats for this, and this is actually what we typically do in runs, because on my system, I literally cannot get that trick to work without my game lagging. So you're gonna see... Yeah, come again?
Do you still use it on the world record?
I don't personally. It has potential to be faster, I think, but I don't know. It's kind of uncharted territory.
I think the new strat is like 10 seconds faster than Slidey.
Which is a bigger skip, yeah. Hopefully that goes okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you play this game casually, you'll notice this is actually kind of a side mission. Supposed to be a side mission. They totally wanted you to get this, but this is going to unlock like a movement ability, which we're going to be spamming for the rest of the run.
They made the game so you don't have to get it, right?
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
Allegedly.
We did not skip or route the speed run, so you can not get it. That makes sense. You need it to do any skip in the game, pretty much.
Yeah.
I can't really imagine playing the game casually without it.
Yeah, apparently there's like 2% of players who missed it somehow.
And also soon we have something that I have recently dubbed Stary Skippy Poggers. And what it does, it skips talking to Ahti.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty big skip. That's really cool. That we wouldn't do with Slidey. It's not relatively new.
Well, yeah, it's kind of new, but not like too new. And if you're wondering why the naming is that, it's kind of from a meme. We were like talking about the naming schemes for the game, and it just came up with that.
Yeah, all the skips in this game have pretty hilarious names. So we're gonna flip out there and skip the office with Ahti, and then from here, hop onto the vents, and come over here, and then we're just gonna dash all the way to the control room, and hopefully, if I hit everything correctly, I'll be able to finish the level, but The trigger can be a bit dodgy to hit sometimes, but we're gonna see in a bit here after I kill these guys.
Does it skip most of the power plant part of it?
Yes.
This is Lazy Assistant, yeah, so there's actually like 3 skips going on at once. What we would normally do is quit out there and come through here with Slidey, since we opened a door earlier. But instead we just came right over here, and that skips having to do 2 quests to fix the power plant. And luckily we did hit that trigger, so we're able to finish the level here.
Go back and lie to Emily.
Yeah, we're gonna lie to Emily, tell her that everything's a-okay, lockdown's lifted, you know, everything's fine.
We did that really 30 minutes worth of gameplay.
Yeah, something like that. 30 minutes of gameplay in like 3. So very big skip, and that's going to lead us into the Old Boys Pub, which is definitely the most combat-heavy level in the run.
Yeah,
but it is the most fun.
Indeed.
Yeah. There's also a skip here. First we get to hit the corner here, do a standard clip out, but then when we're out of bounds we need to hit 2 triggers. The first one is kind of in the middle of the darkness. We have to mantle a specific ball in a specific way, kind of.
I think that's
the first. Yeah, that should be fine. And the next trigger is in a corner, and it's finicky to hit because you want to go close to the wall, but not too close, or you'll get soft locked, like stuck in the wall, which is
not nervous
ideal.
till I think about it. Okay, there we go. Was that one there, and now we're gonna come around this room, and this skips the puzzle with the astral spike and the room over there. That's actually 2 skips back to back, all out of bounds, and we got it.
Nice.
I don't know what she's grabbing onto right now. I'm trying to think about that guy right there. Because he heals everyone in the room as long as he's alive.
This is where you get to see the combat really shine.
I'm not sure if there's one more on the ground. I guess we'll see.
I don't see any pluses next to their damage bars.
Yeah, I killed the orb already.
Oh, I thought that's what you were talking about. You just meant a standard enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like to hide a lot.
They made them that way intentionally, right?
Probably.
Just to be
their AI is very skittish. Oh, okay, we're good.
Shy.
We did get a level 2 launch efficiency, so I'm gonna equip that now.
That uses less energy for launch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, each launch takes less energy.
Where are we in the story right now?
We're looking for Marshall, who supposedly might know something about our brother, and I'm gonna die.
Oh no. At least it's a quick death.
Yeah, that didn't lose much time at all. I actually got a little trolled by the melee. It locked onto the enemy behind the one I was trying to hit.
I saw that.
Yeah, and so I couldn't get out.
Those enemies like to explode, and then they explode again when they die.
Yeah. Yeah, and everything in this game kind of hits like a truck because this game has 1 difficulty level, and that's hard. This game is very punishing casually, so I'm not surprised I died in the marathon.
It does have some nice journalist support, though. So if you're really struggling, you can just turn on the aim assist.
They didn't add that till later patches. Yeah. Also, something interesting is this elevator goes sideways. Interesting thing about the elevators in the FGC.
I mean, that's not an elevator. That's not an elevator at all.
Star Trek Turbo Lift. For whatever reason, those guys are scripted to just run into the corner and die. I'm not sure what that's about.
Red shirts? You were talking about Star Trek, so... There's
Fair
clearly
enough.
some inspiration there.
And I do have friendly units here that I'm trying to keep alive. Once again, the enemies are doing what they do best, which is losing me time.
I didn't notice that they actually speak, the friendlies.
Oh yeah, they do. And that's probably the best mod in the game right there, so I'm good picking that up.
Is that like the 25% energy recovery?
Something like that. That was the first 2 waves of enemies, and now we have a mini boss fight coming up here. We call this guy Big Boy. You can't hear it in the dub, but the rangers will say, "Oh, that's a big boy, watch out."
Also, if you played the game recently, you might notice that we are breaking the shields with only 1 launch instead of 2. That is the big combat difference between the legacy patch that we're running on and the current patch. There's also...
Yeah, we play on the earliest available patch for the game.
Yeah. There's also some other differences, such as the sliding McGunny trick doesn't work on the current patch, for example.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they had to fix the game.
Yeah, it's an inadvertent fix because they fixed the menus lagging overall, which caused the overlap to work in the first place.
Supposedly, there's a way to get it on current patch still, but we haven't figured out how to do that yet.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
You gotten it to happen on accident?
Not on current patch, no.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. So now we are looking for Darling's HRA lab, and I put in the code wrong.
Dr. Darling is actually played by the guy who did the performance capture for the character Alan Wake.
Yeah, same voice actor too. Slight spoiler alert, he has no in-game model. He's only seen in live-action cutscenes, and he did a really good job.
They just stuck him in front of a Betamax recorder and...
A Betamax reporter, yeah, that's probably accurate.
And I'm pretty sure he won an Oscar for the performance in this game.
He really is the best character.
So here what I'm doing with these punch cards is this is what I affectionately call the part of the game that half of everyone stopped playing at, because a puzzle is so friggin' confusing, but luckily you can just memorize a solution, so that's what we're gonna do. The HRA machine is gonna turn out to be broken, and we're gonna be sent on our way to find more black rock.
The HRA is what was supposed to keep them all from being possessed by the hiss. In fact, they have little HRAs on their person. Those are those circular sort of backpack things that they have on their chests.
Yeah, everyone but Jessie has one.
Jessie is protected by the voices in her head.
It's so heartwarming.
It really is. Those trans-dimensional beings are very kind.
Very kind. But first we're gonna do a pretty funny trick called Boxy McFloaty.
Oh yeah, so in essence this works similarly to prop flipping, but instead we are gonna break the box and then go inside it while it's on the launch ability, and then jump and let go of it. And the same idea of the game trying to push us upwards makes us fly upwards because we are stuck in the object properly.
And because all of those guys were around me and are pissed off at me, I was able to dash in the motel there, since it forced a combat state.
Is that why you can still hear the meowing, or is that the radio?
That's people outside.
That's right. I remember. So the Ocean View Motel is different to everybody, and for Jessie, because of her life on the road, it's just a seedy motel on the side of Middle America. Side of the road, I should say.
So now this is where things are going to get a bit interesting, and to be quite honest, I'm a little nervous about this. But we're going to be going out of our way to do another side mission, which is going to unlock another ability that we wouldn't typically need, but it's actually our fastest means of moving between 2 points in space. And you're going to be very confused when you find out that the ability we're going for is a shield. Because how is a shield going to make you move fast? Well, you're going to see. It does interesting things.
Yeah, there's some interesting things that happen when you go through loading zones with it active.
Why are you nervous about this part?
It just wasn't going well in practice.
Hmm.
This game likes to eat dashes, so that was happening quite a bit. Hopefully we don't get that here.
Seems very temperamental day to day.
It can be.
Interesting little double jump there.
Yeah, those mentals are kind of weird because you have to kind of be at an angle and then turn toward the platform, I think, as well. Because you can't normally mental those parts.
Oh, the falling and landing and climbing is based on where Jesse's feet actually are, right?
Yeah. Give me 1 sec. Alright, sorry about that. So anyway, from here we're going to be doing a trick called Shieldy McSorry, which works by activating the shield when opening a menu and fast traveling somewhere. The elevator on this sector is kind of special because there's 2 floors that are on the same map. So here we are. This is Shieldy McSorry. I went a little bit too high. But we're actually skipping to the very last area that we have to go to in this level, which is the Blackrock Quarry entrance.
Yeah, but
I'm going to go ahead and grab this so we can usually go back to the control room from earlier. Go ahead, Thompson.
Yeah, so unfortunately, even though we can get here, we cannot finish the mission right away because we need to hit a few triggers along the way in the map.
So we're actually going to go back and hit those now. First one is going to be... First one's actually the one we did earlier with the motel. The second one is going to be... this away. If I can get up out of bounds. Thank you.
How do you activate the Shieldy McGunny? No, what is it called?
The McSorry.
Yeah, sorry.
So, like, basically you have to have the shield on and go through a loading zone. It can be, like, traveling between traveling, like, between
within the same
points.
sector.
Yeah. But you can also, in some cases, get it by, like, being out of bounds already and then just, like, go into a part of the map that's gonna load in. That's also gonna initiate it.
So, unfortunately, the hero is out of Black Rock, or so it seems. We're gonna deal with the jump scare monster.
Scariest enemy in the game.
We're gonna hit here and quit out, because we hit our 3rd trigger, I think. And we got one more to hit, so, and it's right above us, so we have to fast travel away and then come back to shield.
It just gives you like a general no-clip-esque ability, right?
Yeah.
It's very hard to control, but yeah. There's some parts of the map where it sort of just pushes you straight up or straight down, and it's hard to get back inbounds in some places.
It's kind of like a no-clip, but you don't feel like you're straight up cheating.
It's a good way to put it. So now we're going to go back to the quarry entrance and use our shield to glide all the way to where we need to go at the end of the mission.
I'm going to try and get Blackrock for the HRAs.
By the way, anyone remember Arish? Because we don't even see him in this run. Sorry.
Yeah, who's Arish?
It's nice that they have such a simplistic demolition method.
Just in place, ready to go?
Yeah. Put the boxes in the holes and then press button.
We had to wait on the objective to update there, and then before we could quit out. And now we're going to go back to Marshall, who's been withholding information from us. Marshall's going to tell us that our brother is in the containment sector, so off we go to find our brother.
We're gonna find out that he's gone through a little bit of
a phase?
edgy teenage phase.
Yeah,
Hiss
he's
are
not
my
feeling
family.
himself.
To be fair, there's a multimedia clip where you find these like disturbed puppets, and it's a video of puppets explaining like the astral plane and the oldest house, and it's supposed to be a kids show that Dr. Darling made for Dylan to help him adjust. It's just kind of
Creepy.
terrifying.
Yeah. And coming up soon is something we call a neon. Basically, mantling at certain spots causes
Out of
the game.
bounds.
Yeah, out of bounds. There are some spots in bounds as well, but yeah, causes the game to want to like shoot Jesse toward the 0, 0, 0 coordinates of the current map.
Which is there. That was the new.
Yeah. Sometimes there's things in the way, so you can't quite get super far, which is actually ideal in this case.
And that lets us go right to the end. So we can drop right into the last room of the motel.
Yeah, which conveniently has the light switch active already.
It's so nice that they just left all that stuff in there for us.
Were you going back to hit a trigger?
That was, yeah. The trigger that's tied to that door, so you have to open the door and then you're good to go. So now we're gonna be introduced to Langston, who's the overseer over the Bureau's Panopticon, which is where they keep all the altered items and objects of power. Care for
And
them,
Dylan.
as it were. And Dylan, yeah. It's like a petting zoo.
But for objects and then a disturbed bald man.
Mm-hmm. They don't know he's bald yet. Spoilers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Coming up is a character we didn't even have a name for until recently. His name is Bob, so whenever he comes up, everyone say hi, Bob. Any second now.
He's taking his time.
The
He's taking his
suspense.
time.
Hi,
Hi,
Bob.
Bob.
Hi, Bob. Yeah, shout out to Nico with the C.
He's gonna
Very
go tell
cool
all his
guy.
friends.
He's gonna go tell all his friends about us, but we're not gonna be seeing much of his friends actually.
You know, it's just a real shame because they're like setting up a surprise party and everything. That's
Hello?
Phil.
Yeah, that's Phil. Bye, Phil. I'm gonna die.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh no.
One of those guys just headshotted me, which I didn't expect.
Yeah,
I think they despawn though the second time around.
they do, yeah. But honestly, that section is like surprisingly tough sometimes.
Yeah, I threw something at them to try and clear them out of the way, but that just made them even angrier. Thank you, Jesse, for dashing right at my enemies.
It is probably one of the...
That's coming at me, I think.
Oh no.
Okay, it blew up.
Okay,
Thank
nice.
God.
Yeah, this is one of
This
the coolest cutscenes in the game.
Thankfully unskippable.
I always
Some
thought like
soldier
the
was like, I'll be damned if they skip this.
I always thought the oil spill cloud effect was the coolest thing in this game. Like when the enemies die or things move around.
Yeah, this game won like 30 awards for looking cool. And being
Yeah.
cool, so deservedly so.
Yeah. Also, funny sad fact is that sometimes an enemy can like get teleported right next to you after the cutscene here, and since you can't move, you can just die to that enemy.
I didn't know that. I didn't even know that.
I'm suddenly reminded of the end of Portal with being sucked up into this vortex.
Yeah, a little bit.
So this
We're
is
not
the
going to
first
the moon,
proper
though.
boss fight. in the game. This is Salvador, and Salvador is actually kind of tough, especially with these ads. I'm gonna take out first, or try to.
Salvador needs a therapist, but medicates himself with steroids and time at the gym.
Yeah, I didn't good, dude. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
This game's hard, guys.
Yes.
I stunned him.
Especially when you have to kind
Okay,
of try and go
sneak up on
fast.
you.
He's in an interesting spot right here.
What just hit me?
Looked like something from behind you.
Pretty sure I cleared out all the ads, but...
I was gonna say, can you go melee that bitch? Please.
We did get a level, or a 12% dodge efficiency there, which is nice, so to click that. It's actually nice to have for the skips coming up. Also, I just realized I probably died because I didn't level up energy.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm still in energy too.
I like that they did not use invisible walls here.
I believe that they kind of wanted you to do that skip.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said like in the devs react about like making it so that if you like are confident enough you can go there right away.
I did that a lot when I played casually, and the game never told me no, which was nice.
Yeah, it's nice how much freedom they gave you out of bounds too. We're actually gonna do another prop flip skip here. We get straight to Dylan's chamber. We're gonna find he isn't in his room.
Yeah, and this gives like a 10 to 20 second door opening and closing sequence.
Saves them a lot of time, yeah.
You wanted to skip the drama of the door opening?
Yeah. I don't have time for that. But once again, this game likes to throw a princess in another castle at us. So we actually were told that Dylan just wandered out of his cell and went back to Central Executive, so we're going to go talk to him and see what's up. And see to his edgy phase, as mentioned earlier.
Yeah, he didn't just wander, he like destroyed everything and killed a bunch of people. And then came here for some reason.
He's like, I'm fine.
Floating is normal.
Floating as normal. And I'm also going to restart the game again here, just because it tends to crash. So I'm just restarting it there for sake of safety. It is a marathon after all.
At least it starts quickly.
Yeah, definitely. You know how long it was before I knew you could skip the epilepsy warning?
I didn't even realize there was an epilepsy warning.
So this is actually probably the biggest out-of-bounds skip in the game.
Yeah.
It was discovered pretty early on.
Yeah, so in the face of the enemy skip, we basically skip every other bit of the mission apart from the final fight in the junkyard. But even though the junkyard is like next to us when we get up here, we need to go around, hitting a couple triggers first, or the final fight won't spawn. The first trigger was there at the bottom of the elevator. We had to do the little trick jump there. The next one coming up is after this big room here. There's a light and we need to kind of hover close by of it.
You'll see I'm kind of spacing out my dashes. That is a technique to maximizing distance. And so that was the second trigger. The third one is somewhere along here.
Somewhere, you don't know, it's just somewhere in the dark, right?
It's over here, above these green lights. That's kind of our reference point. And now the junkyard is right here, and if everything worked... Okay,
Yes.
it worked.
Nice.
It's always got just enough time for me to wonder if I did something wrong
Yeah.
before they spawn in.
I got concerned for a moment.
Yeah.
This is where you find out that the Bureau transported every piece of the junkyard where Jesse found the paranormal... Jesse and her friends found the paranormal object. They
Nobody
transported
noticed.
it to the... Yeah, nobody noticed. They took every piece exactly the way it was and just copy-pasted.
Just a huge truck.
I guess cut and pasted is a better example.
There's the last guy. There he is.
Those flying things are probably my least favorite enemy.
Yeah, they dodge.
They dodge everything.
Luckily they don't dodge immediately after dodging or when spawning in, so
Yeah.
there is a method to the madness. Hopefully my continue button didn't bug, and it didn't. Sometimes it will glitch out, so you click it and nothing happens to restart the game again. So now I'm going to get another movement ability, which is our ground slam. That's going to help us out for finish Tango here. We were looking for the slide projector, and once again we're told that's in another castle, so we're going to find it in Dimensional Research, which is actually locked off by the Ashtray Maze. And we can't get through the Ashtray Maze, so we have to go find Ati to figure out how. But this is the part I'm kind of nervous about, because when shield gliding around fire breaks, it likes to do weird things and will kill you, but that one went without a hitch.
It's really smooth.
Yeah, that was unexpected. I got a nice little slide there.
Yeah, Stray Maze is arguably the coolest part of the game.
And luckily we won't see any of it because this game is worth playing casually.
It is, what, like 8 minutes of just combat?
Yeah.
It's a superhero combat action movie montage, yeah.
With the Walkman.
With a Walkman.
Why does the Walkman not die in the oldest house? Is it just because it's Ati's?
It's Ati's, it's an object of power, I'm sure. Where did the map go?
I think you're on top
Oh,
of
I'm on
the-
top of
yeah.
it. Okay, yeah. Got a little bit nervous for a sec. Old record holder, by the way. Okay, so I hit that at 55:32. There's actually a timer that starts when you hit that button for a trigger that doesn't become active until 90 seconds after. So I'm going to go ahead and cross now, and then go back out and hit that trigger after 90 seconds has passed. So that's going to be at like 54 minutes on my OBS timer over there.
This would normally be like just a solid...
Waiting on this
What?
thing to cross all the way, yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
5
It's
minutes
a
or so
bit.
combat.
Yeah.
It's also a good spot to read any donations if there are.
Sorry, my mouse was off in a different world, so I had to get it back. Unfortunately, no donations right now, but we are still trying to plug away. Actually, we just got a couple of donations in, looks like. So, yeah, we just got a bunch, actually. So, hold on, let me refresh this.
I hope that was... That was way too early.
All right, so Sanaka says, would love to see the DLC being played. Let's get this going, folks, with a $5 donation. Or donates $25 more with no comment.
Does that mean we're going to be running our DLC?
Yep, we're at $30 on the DLC.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Never been before seen at a marathon. I'm super excited about it, actually. But back to where we are in this run currently. I went out and hit the trigger too early because I have a small brain and added the numbers wrong. So we know that we hit the trigger whenever we had that multimedia thing come up in the bottom right. This is actually a movement tech I discovered recently, where if you dash into a ground slam, you kind of slide along the floor for a bit. So I'm doing that there to just maximize the distance I go on the ground. So we've hit the cutscene. Otzi has given us his Walkman, and now we're off to the Ashtray Maze. We're not actually going straight to the Ashtray Maze. We're going to set up a shield guide straight to Dimensional Research. This is Ashtray Skip. This is like also the oldest skip in the game, right?
Yeah, it was found pretty early.
Not this version of it.
Yeah, not this version. Yeah,
but another version of it. And as I mentioned before, fire breaks are a bit weird. So if I die randomly, that's probably why. But we'll see.
Yeah. There's a bunch of death barriers around the Ashtray Maze itself.
Yeah, so you can see I'm taking a very, wide...
You should probably release it now, already.
Where am I? There we are.
Yeah, okay, nice.
Perfect.
And then we also have to hit the trigger here on the fire break to actually be able to progress the mission.
Tansu, I don't know when the last time I did Polaris was.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The last marathon we did?
Probably.
It's gonna be fine.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So you find out through using the projector, which is the object that she found when she was a child, to keep an extra-dimensional being in the Oldest house. And they opened the door to let that thing through.
Oh, door opened on me. That's not nice.
It's the exact opposite of door stuck.
Yeah. So we find out that the thing that they're keeping in the Oldest house is actually Polaris, the being in our head that guided us to the Oldest house. So we're gonna go say hi, but unfortunately we're opening the doors to the Hiss coming in and taking over Polaris. So we're gonna have to save her.
Yeah.
Pronouns are her, as assigned by Jesse, right?
Yeah, and the FBC actually calls Polaris Hedron, which is where the HRA's name Hedron Resonance Amplifier comes from, and that's also why Jesse doesn't get corrupted by the Hiss, because she has Polaris, which has the resonance already.
So this is actually not the most RNG heavy, but it's a very stressful part of the game, as you have to defuse 6 of these siphons, which is like an 8-second interaction on each of them. Ideally without having to kill any of these enemies. Normally these first 3 siphons are pretty free. Things are going okay, they might throw a nade at me here and there, but the 4th one coming up is definitely the worst. And we're good.
If you take any damage while doing it, it restarts your progress in it.
Yeah, it cuts the interaction. So I have an AI manip. I don't know if it worked. This guy looks like he's a little to the right.
What?
Let's see. Nah, got hit. I'm gonna kill this guy, and I'm also gonna kill these guys. They didn't like the way they were looking at me. Let's see if we're good to go now. I don't know where the other Tomasi guy is. Oh, he's right above. That's good.
That should be fine, yeah.
Alright, there we go. Siphon 4 done.
This part also has a little difference between the patches, because on current patch there's soft checkpoints between the last 3 siphons, but on the legacy version there isn't, so if you die on the last one you need to redo all the 3 upper ones again.
Mm-hmm. High stakes here.
Is the last one pretty difficult?
It's usually pretty free. There is going to be a credit sequence coming up with copyrighted music. I can mute the game audio if needed, though.
Probably for the best to mute any copyright music.
I actually died.
That is something.
That is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
I just said that one's typically pretty free, but it happens.
Yeah, it's not like the enemies have set points where they go to 100% of the time.
Well, that means we have to do Siphon 4 again. So here goes.
You have to do the entire upper level again?
Yep.
Mhm.
He's a little bit to the right again.
Oh no.
And I would have made it, but I got shot through the wall because this game works. For whatever reason, our launch ability is kind of broken here. Things get stuck on the wall a lot.
Yeah.
That guy's to my left. He's a problem.
This is really unfortunate.
Indeed.
AI RNG.
Yeah.
Aside from this, though, this one was going pretty well.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Now it's time for the rocket troopers to troll me.
Through the wall again?
Alright, we're good.
I vote for Wallhack Gaming.
Wallhack Gaming?
Yeah. It's the AI.
Pretty much, yeah. That is probably the most hilarious thing that can happen in this game. And this game has a lot of hilarious things that can and will happen. So now, this sixth siphon is actually the hardest in the game and kills every single run, apparently. So we're gonna...
Not free at all?
Yeah, not free at all. But we got it.
Nice.
And because I didn't clear it with tech, we're not going to play the fake credits that are coming up here. Typically we'd pretend that the game was broken and my computer is dying, but no, it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm going to mute the audio though because it plays a copyrighted song. But yeah, so how was everyone? How are y'all doing?
My back is hurting.
What do you think of that Portal 2 run earlier?
It was pretty cool. I was mostly soft lurking, but yeah.
I thought it's a really cool run. I love that game.
I was in bed. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I was still recovering. I've been up almost till midnight every night for the past couple of days doing this.
Gosh.
Oh no.
They are putting on a good show, so pretty hyped to show the DLC after this.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh no, my computer's dying, XD.
Oh no.
It's like the ink is bleeding on your printer.
Oh no, yeah.
Like those old thermal copiers.
So, anyway, to summarize what just happened, we lost. The Hiss took over Polaris, and now Jessie is possessed by the Hiss, and she's stuck in a constant nightmare of being an unpaid intern, I guess. Relatable nightmare for us all, I'm sure.
Endless coffee mugs. And
Endless
mail
coffee
delivery.
mugs. Yeah. So we have to do these tasks to get out of it, I guess. These tasks will actually spawn infinitely. If you don't notice what to do next, but
Yeah, I got stuck here for a good 15 minutes. I wanna say.
yeah, you were doing the mail for a bit, and then you were like, okay, something's wrong. They actually said on the Devs React stream that one of the programmers was playing the level, trying to test a bug or something, and they were there for like 20 minutes, and they were just like raging. Yeah, they were like, this has got to go. So that was the first loop. A recurring theme in this game is the rule of 3, which which is where you have to do the same thing 3 times. So we're on the 2nd cycle, and this time we only have to do 1 set of coffee mugs. And then coming up, I'm actually going to show off a bit of a swag strat. That's called a cutscene noom. So for whatever reason, when you're mantling while going into a cutscene, it tries to warp you to where that cutscene started. But like regular nooms, you get stopped on walls and whatever's along the way. So it's going to take us right next to the mail tube, if I can get it. Let's see. I didn't get it,
no.
Unfortunate. But it's fine, it actually doesn't save any time at all. We would actually be teleported right up here if I did get it. We have to wait on the thing to come down anyway, so that's just a swag strat, as I said.
Ich werde kämpfen und einen Weg finden, es zu verteidigen.
This is the last cycle, right?
Last cycle.
Yeah.
And then you break free of the unpaid intern.
Then we get back into our badass attire and run to the end of the game. Do you think we got time for the dynamite cutscene?
What is the time at right now?
Yeah, well.
Tot. Ich fühle dich nicht mehr. Ich kann nicht.
Yeah, we'll just go with it. It's actually a totally optional part of the game here.
Das Motel ist ein Ort.
And as we said earlier, this guy won an Oscar.
Änderung der Durchreise. Es verbindet alles.
He's just grooving.
Es ist ein
He's just grooving.
Traum in meinem Kopf. Warum soll das nicht
The German voicing.
I noticed during the Polaris part, she said "go to hell" in English.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One time I've seen this game played, my friend was so confused getting to this part where you're the unpaid intern, and he's like, I don't understand why I'm trapped here. I don't know what I need to do.
Well, he wasn't the only one.
This is truly the best character in this game.
No in-game model, by the way.
He doesn't need one.
He does not need one at all.
He's perfect the way he is. So you're now officially broken free from the hiss and are trying to...
We have to go turn off the slide projector, which is how
Yeah.
this got into in the first place.
purify the oldest house and then go back into the astral plane and save Dylan.
So this would be the final clutch boss fight section here, where it just spawns wave and waves of enemies, but that takes a really long time, so we're just gonna go straight to the end.
Luckily, the last island here actually spawns under us, even though we haven't done the first fight.
No soft checkpoints though.
Yeah.
If you die, it puts you at the beginning.
Yeah, on the third island,
Mm.
which actually happened to Tansu first time. So now in current patch we'd have to do this fight, but luckily there's some holes in the collision here, so we can just, kind of wander our way straight through the end here. Thank you. And time is going to be coming up as soon as I interact with Dylan here. And time.
GG.
GG.
Good game.
Remember the Shawshank percent?
Shawshank percent? Oh yeah.
Yes.
I'm too
Obligatory.
busy thinking about the DLC now.
Hyper focused. So in the first cutscene in the game, she mentions a movie where the guy's in the prison and there's a hole behind the poster, and she couldn't remember the name of the movie.
Das Portal ist geschlossen. Aber das Zischen verbleibt.
And that is a homage to a very popular movie. I confirmed
So
right
after
here.
all that,
Verurteilten. Das
Yeah, now
ist
she
der Name
remembers.
des Films, an den ich dachte. Nicht wichtig, aber das ist er.
Alright, so now I gotta set up for the DLC actually, because that's on a different patch version. So give me 1 second here. I need to make sure I have the right saves.
are the mods still attached to the saves in the DLC?
They are, but it doesn't matter as much. Okay, so this is the current patch of the game. I'm actually going to set the language here. I'm thinking about it. And fix my volume. And this also has some funny tricks with lagging the game here that you're going to see. So, real quick, this is the foundation. This takes place right after the main campaign. The board just calls us on the hotline, says, you know, we're in trouble, and off we go. I'm not sure how to explain the story of this DLC, actually.
Screen share?
Oh, thank you. That's gonna crash my game, I'm sure. Yeah, it crashed. It's all good, it's all good.
It's been a solid year and a half since I played it, so...
Yeah, and this is some of the best expansion content for a recent game.
Oh, it deals with, like, the first bureau agents coming into the oldest house. Like, you go through those areas. And it covers the history of the first director.
We actually get some new abilities, but unlike the main campaign, we don't actually pick the game that much with them.
Yeah, unfortunately, the abilities we get during the DLC are like super specific in what you can do with them, and you can only like interact with the existing environment.
So this is actually the foundation, which is what, like the basement of the oldest house?
Yeah, it's the ground layer of the oldest house. And they suddenly found that the massive spike that's down there that they have associated with sort of the spirit of the oldest house and the connection with the board and the oldest house. They've discovered that that's kind of decayed, and it's far shorter than it should be.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm sorry if I was supposed to say time. Totally forgot about that. That actually hurt a lot. Watch me die at a marathon here.
Yeah, unless you're doing time for just the DLC, I don't think it's much.
Okay.
Otherwise, we have your any % time just frozen.
That's fine.
This is the gun upgrade spin, which just turns it into an AR-15. Full auto, of course.
Or like a automatic Glock. I'm not sure which it is.
Which one?
Yeah. There's also a new enemy type introduced here, which are like kind of like zombies. They have pickaxes, and they throw them at you.
They're very annoying. What you'll notice is they have a lot more HP as well. Like the difficulty increase in this versus the base game is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also don't have a head hitbox.
And they also can like teleport a little bit, so that's fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
The environment of the Foundation is... You find some naturalistic environments in the oldest house, right? Just some scattered around? Or is it just in the Foundation?
You mean like trees?
No, like this cave architecture.
I believe this is only here, aside from the Black Rock Quarry.
And there's like, if you count the like active threshold, there's the like mold area, but I don't know if that would count.
We're looking for Marshall, by the way, who we just passed. She also disappeared, like the G-Man from Half-Life. We got places to go. So this is called the nail. I don't remember the nail's purpose, I'm afraid, but touching it, we're going to be teleported to the astral plane, and the board's going to grant us one of two abilities. We're actually going to go with the one on the right here, because one of the weapon forms we have actually makes this a lot faster. And that's going to be charged, and you're going to see that in a sec.
Also, if you happen to have a blast radius mod, you can put that on the chart and it'll make this easier as well.
Yeah, it's pretty broken. This is one of these games that you can stack up in, and just kind of break the game with how strong your stats are.
It's very necessary, though.
Definitely. They did balance around that. We are going to be doing like little skips here. We're not going to be breaking all these crystals. It's actually faster, and we can climb up, get around this easier. Trespassing / snooping is forbidden, as the board says. Yeah, I actually forgot how creative the writing was in this DLC until I was running it again.
Yeah, it's awesome. It answers a lot of questions that you kind of acquire over the course of the game.
But this DLC run is about going fast, and since we have shield, we're going to be busting the game wide open here. So we're just going to be shield gliding straight to the 4, what are they called, locks / keys the board wants us to go and fix.
That's right.
Some rituals with some of them, but...
First one is right here. And like I said, this ability is way faster to get first with charge, so we're just going to bust this wide open.
Wow, that would have been useful to have when I was playing it normally.
I know, right? So that's the first one, and we're going to quit out now. So once again, we're going to be cranking our video settings up because I need my game to lag. Because this is probably the weirdest and also most frustrating skip in the entire game, but...
The screen share... Oh, wait.
Yeah, I reset the game. Hold on. Okay. Should be good. Okay, so I'm not really sure how to explain this, but as Tansu said, we go through loading zones. We can actually hit some loading zones out of bounds and get shieldy movement.
Yeah.
So this part in particular is a bit odd. And I'm just going to let you explain it if you can.
Yeah, I'll try my best. So there's one part of this where we go drop down to this that thing there, like the bit, and then we go through a loading zone normally. Oh no!
Should I try again?
Yeah, go for it. I guess it should be
if I don't get it the second time, I'm just gonna set stuff back and use photo mode.
Yeah, but you can enter that tunnel from out of bounds, and you can hit the trigger that transports you to the astral collision area. And if you hold shield while going into that, you should get shieldy movement into the astral collision itself.
So the part that makes this trick difficult is what just happened once I was stuck at a black screen. There's actually a trigger right underneath where you spawn in this area that fades the trigger in. But since we get the shield movement, I believe what happens is you get pushed up, so you never hit that trigger. Fortunately, I do have a backup strat if this doesn't work, but hopefully it does. So we're going to see real quick. And I didn't get it, so I'm just going to set my settings back real quick. And we're going to use photo mode, because fortunately we can actually see what's going on around us in photo mode. So it's going to be kind of like piloting blind. And I'm a little nervous of pressing spacebar here.
The annoying part of when doing this backup strat is that when you exit the pause menu, there's a slight delay before you can actually do actions. So it comes down to how fast can you actually do the inputs. And
yeah, I'm actually flying completely blind here.
Yeah.
I think I'm going at a good spot.
It seems good at least.
Okay.
Okay.
We're probably gonna go a little high, but that's normal.
So why can't you see anything right now?
It's that fade and trigger I talked about. There's one right underneath where you spawn. I went too far, so I'm gonna try and... Okay, did I drop too far?
I think you can still make it if you go around from the, like,
other
back
side
side of it. Yeah, like if you go to the left and then there.
This is gameplay, guys, I promise.
Become one with the game, Bucky.
Okay, nice.
Okay,
I think you're...
so I have to turn around. And I'm gonna try and, like, do a ground slam here.
It is gonna be kind of scary though, because you need to get to the control point and there's the enemies spawning. And we can see them, so we might, like, die here as well. Hopefully not though.
I'm gonna make sure this is lined up. Okay.
Bringing a whole new meaning to blindfold running.
Yeah. Okay, I might get killed here. I hope that doesn't happen.
Even if you get killed, as long as you got the interaction for the CP, it will, like,
It's
activate.
good?
Yeah.
Okay, because I just got shot.
Just don't, like, quit out or anything, just wait it out.
Gotcha.
It should be fine.
I still have the black screen, but we're good, so you're right. So the black screen goes away after we quit out, reload.
Yeah, that area you were going into is a very difficult combat area.
Yeah, this skip, like, even with the photo mode thing, saves like 10 minutes at least. We do have to hit another trigger though, so I'm gonna shieldy back here, and then drop down through this. And I hit the floor, objective updated, and we're good to go. And it's actually convenient because I need to do another shield glide to the other tower. So being here already just works out routing wise. And this is just shield glide galore.
God, it sounded like her legs just shattered whenever you did that final.
So now we have to do some combat down here, but then that, like I said, that alone skips like 10-15 minutes of normal gameplay.
The combat in this DLC is really cool because they put more emphasis on environmental, I guess using the environment to your advantage.
Yeah, they put a lot more hazards in place so you can set up traps. Unfortunately, none of the AI is cooperating with me, so I don't get to use those. But you'll see that later in the boss fight coming up. There's another side ability that I'm going to talk about, is they didn't actually add that till the current patch, which is multi-launch. And it lets you grab 3 objects and throw them all at the same time, which is super overpowered if you've seen me use it.
It is very fun, though.
It's very fun, yeah.
Especially when you go back to
kind of ruins my life going back to the base game.
I was gonna say.
So this is where the narrative takes a bit of a detour. Hello? So we actually have another character, an extra dimensional being called the Former, who takes us back here and allows us to get the other ability. And the board is not happy about that. Not happy at all.
Former is like the anti-board.
A former member of the board, yeah. Hence his name.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's why it's called the Former, because it was a former member.
It was democratically ejected from the singularity.
I believe so. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's rough. I feel sorry for the guy.
Getting ejected by what is essentially yourself.
Yeah, I think what's hilarious is the board says you are hijacking narrative / self.
Yeah. Bucky, something I want to ask is
What's up?
I'm not sure if you did something wrong, but the objective says to reach research site gamma.
Yeah, that's normal.
Okay, so your routing is routing. Okay, yes.
Ich will nicht mehr durch die Astralebene.
I just got concerned because you went to the collapse department first, and I wasn't sure if it's gonna work or not.
We'll see, because you did make a good point. I don't know if it matters, but we'll find out. Because like I changed the order that I do this up the other day, and my memory is just so fuzzy.
That's the former, by the way. It's just a big worm. It is absolutely massive.
I'm gonna see if this will work.
I think we might have a problem, but
I'm pretty sure I've completed it with one of the things not working.
What are you worried about not working?
like
I did one of the objectives in the wrong order.
yeah.
I got there and I completed the objective and died. So I think we're good.
Oh,
Like
man.
I said, the shield movement is a bit temperamental. Okay, we're in a good spot. That's fine. That's totally fine.
Crisis averted. We're good now? Or do you have to go at it again since you died?
I have to go at it. I have to actually fix the tablet or whatever, and something weird is happening.
Pushing you backwards.
You
It
got
was
out of
pushing me
shield
up.
as well.
Yeah, I dropped it so I could just go the rest of the way myself.
Okay.
And once I'm in the cave on the map, I can just start floating down. I'm really high, jeez.
Wow, it really chucked you up there.
Yeah.
Da ist was eingeritzt.
So here's part 3.
Is this the one that I box climbed up to? And...
I am not sure which one that is.
It should be that one, yeah.
Okay, this always happens. Where's the last one? Hello?
I think it's up top, yeah.
That is not
Oh
what
my
I wanted.
god.
We're good. Okay,
So
I completed.
every one of the spheres restores a little bit of the nail. Every time you complete one of those puzzles, what you call them?
Why am I back here? Question mark.
That is a good question.
That's not the first time that's happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so now this is maybe the funniest glide ever, if I get it. We just go straight through the cave.
Oh my god.
It actually worked perfectly. Oh my
That
god.
was awesome.
Do you usually get stuck on the geometry?
Usually I will like aim wrong and just get shot really high up.
Hmm.
Now we're at the warehouse, which is where like you would find out a lot about the first people who came to the oldest house. But we're just gonna skip all of that since we can just fly infinitely upward forever.
Yeah, inside that thing is just never-ending elevators.
Yep.
This is also the part where it becomes a platforming game.
Indeed. We can punch a hole in the wall. And now we wait while our elevator comes up to us.
How long does that take?
I'm not sure. 15 seconds? That's a minute.
Boring.
Yeah. But here we are. We're good. I accidentally missed this in my last run, so here goes.
It's a good reflex training.
It's actually a little Easter egg. We'll see up here. I call the cat percent. Cat percent, yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so if you're unfamiliar, it's basically like there's like I think it's 9 cats that you can collect throughout the DLC with like different types of tasks. And if you complete them all, you get cat ears.
Oh my god.
That was scary.
Yeah, that's not
Relentless.
a fun enemy. Yeah.
I think he's still alive too. Oh, that was it.
You get to see some of the environmental combat.
And that was that fight.
That took a lot longer when I played it.
Yeah, I found out recently that spin is actually really good if you just stack damage mods on it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. So we just fixed the last problem with the nail, but that wasn't good enough. We've actually put the entire universe at stake or something.
I don't remember why.
I believe it's Marshall sabotaging everything.
Hmm.
So we're going to have to go deal with Marshall, I'm afraid.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And Marshall, disclaimer, is the hardest boss fight in the game, so I might die. Multiple times, we'll see. We'll see, I'm a little nervous now.
Right.
I believe you can skip Emily as well, so we're gonna try that. We're
Hopefully we
winging
don't
it
have
up.
a problem, because we do have the objective still up, but...
I'm gonna go talk to Emily then. And I think we are soft locked.
Yeah, okay.
That's unfortunate.
If you want, I can try and send you my Marshall file.
Yeah, go for it.
Because it's like very old strats though, so I don't know
That's
how
fine.
it's gonna work. Hold on, give me a sec.
Technical difficulties because this is such a new run. But
So
it
what
was
was the
going
problem?
pretty well until that point.
Did you not have a trigger?
I did one of the things in the wrong order. So now I believe we're stuck in a weird state.
Should be correct, I think. I sent it to you on DMs.
So give me a minute. Oh, they're in the wrong format too. Oh boy. It's all good. I can make this work.
File converter fast. So ideally, you would just be able to go from talking to Emily straight to the Marshall boss fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the mission would complete then.
Which one did you do first on accident? Like, how was that in order?
Collapse department.
Yeah, because collapse department, the like slab there is part of the set of things you have to do after you get the second ability.
That's probably why I've softlocked in the past.
Yeah, maybe.
I just wasn't paying attention. Okay, almost done here.
Actually, it wouldn't be a problem like ever obvious, but since we just can go out once and go to the wrong slabs, then it's, yeah, can get problematic.
These things happen. Okay. So if this works, hopefully good. I should be able to load straight into Marshall from here.
Hopefully. Nice.
And is she ready to go?
It should be fine.
Okay, this is a totally different setup.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I appreciate it. You just saved the run. Why do you have a rate of fire on spin, bro?
Don't ask.
you don't need that.
Shaming him.
I said this is an old save file.
Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll take this off of here, and I'll put this on there, and use that. And I guess I'll just use grip. Otherwise.
Sofort einen Ranger an diesem Standort.
Alright, so in this DLC you didn't actually see it, but there's a lot of these little communications stations, and you can actually call in for backup. So we're going to be using this guy, because like I said, this boss fight is really, really hard. Honestly, the hardest fight in the entire game.
By far.
Oh no, there's no multi-launch.
Oh no.
I think we'll give you 3 good tries on this boss.
Yeah, that's fair. Taunts you the show saver?
Yeah, no kidding. Straight clutch.
Yeah, it throws these ads at us, and they are actually what kills me most of the time, not Marshall.
Yeah, it was really just the sheer amount of enemies that it chucks your way, and the difficulty of the enemies.
And now the former from earlier is actually sending in backup, which is useful. Thank you, former.
He's trying to redeem himself.
And funnily, in that encounter with former before, if you like attack it and then like kill it there, then you won't actually get the health.
Really, I
Where is
didn't
she?
know. Bucky exhibiting the game's main combat mechanic, throw rock.
Throw rock, yeah. Actually almost got her first try.
Oh, she hits hard.
Yeah.
That was clean though.
That was good. That was a pretty good
pretty
fight. So now we're fixing the nail from down below.
Yep.
And
There's still a there's still a little bit of the DLC left, but
Yeah. DLC officially ends after we get to the cutscene. That's going to be up top.
Boss is hard, he says. Beats the boss first try.
It's happened, alright? I've lost many a run to Marshall last week.
And that's Foundation.
That is Foundation. That was really cool to show off.
Game.
There's
GG.
obviously like more side content as well there, but
Oh yeah, hours.
Oh yeah, this is such a good DLC. That is, yeah, it's in my top 10 for sure. But yeah, so that was Control, everyone.
Well, thank you so much for coming over and showing it off, Bucky. It was really nice having you. Do you have any last words or anything you'd like to plug?
No, I think I'm good. If you're interested in running the game or learning how to run, check out our Discord. It is linked on the SRC page. There's people like myself and Tansu in there who would love to help anyone get started.
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone.